Welcome back to Ralph's house. Working on the riverboat, coming up the river. I think we got the cabin, this area pretty well squared away. Let's move over and work on our boat a little bit. Let's get him pulled back where we want him to be. So we got to get the rigging. We got our gangplank here, our ramp to go off and off the boat with, but we don't have the rigging rigged up for this. Let's catch some of that rigging in there. The ropes and the things might be in there. And again, we'll use a little bit of ultramarine blue, that raw lumber, pull those two together. Just give me a kind of a dark color and a good bit of water. And that's going to make that, give me a fine stroke. I got to go from here to here. Let's get some rigging in here. And then you got your rigging coming down here. You'll have some rigging coming from the side of the boat up to here to help hold that up. And you'd have had some coming from here up to the mast, and going down to the other side. Just different places where they tied that off to handle the weights that we're going to do. Because you have people walking on that ramp and cargo going up and down it. You'd have metal bands going around here and metal on here. We'll make that look like that when we get done. We'll straighten that line up a little bit with our paint test, just a shadow. So get that on there. I've got some of this dark color. Let's a little bit of edge in here. Establish that edge there. Straighten up our lines. Get that in there. Back here on the back of the boat, you'd had an A-frame coming down. This right here is what would have supported this back ramp. That they'd have had that wheel attached to. So we need to get that on there. A little bit darker, so that'll show up. More burr number, a little more ultramarine blue.
Sit left.
Your left or my left?
Left. Sit left.
Okay. Get that in there where it ties in up here to the deck. Straighten that deck up just a little bit. Under there. And we'll grab a little bit of light. Lighten that up just a little bit. Have a metal looking color here to catch the, there we go. So that made it jump out a little bit so you can see it.
Yeah.
The pieces that would have been back there, and they help support that wheel. The mechanical parts of that wheel. Grab some of this red I've got over here. Kind of mix that in right there. Catch on some of these cleats, the things I got in here. Just pull some little colors into there. Just put some color into it. Where those cleats were, where that was, where it comes around. They'd had little smaller things on here on a boat that you'd know about. This is called a Samson post, and this is where the guys that tied the boat up and have somewhere to wrap their ropes and anchor chains around it wouldn't fall off. Just a little bit of ultramarine blue into that. Just made it a little bit darker red. And so just a tie in there. Touch that. We'll put a little bit of white into that. And I'm just trying to make something here to, there we go. And I'm going to pull those all together, those colors together. So right there we go. Make that post stand out there. I like that color. I'm going to pull some of that back up here into the mast. What we got to get? We got to get some more. Let's see what we can do with our boat. We'll get some a little bit lighter color in here. See if we can't catch a little bit of that light back in some of our. Remember to keep a little, when you're trying to get some fine lines, keep some water in your brush. That'll help give you a little thinner lines. it to as much pressure on your brush. Remember where it was coming around here, coming around the bow of the boat? So we need that stroke back in there. As I hope y'all have seen, this is what painting's all about. Just putting paint, just doing it over and over and over till you end up where you want to be. Need a good light on that edge, down here on this back edge down here. Let's get that established a little bit there, where the boat's coming down right beside that doorway. See, get some of our lights back in there, especially this side that's turned towards the light. Don't take out a porthole. Let's get that light right there, all the way down. That's where the sun will be hitting on this side of the boat. Get that rail back on there. And we need a little bit of that back in there because we kind of got it, we lost it some here. Now here, and just kind of blend it together. There's our arched doorway. The front of the boat stay a little bit darker because it's out there kind of on its own. It's over in the shadow side of the boat. A little more of that white and pull into there. It's the sunlight we know is going to hit the lower parts and pull up into it. Painting from a backwards angle from a little bit. We will get there. So it's coming up to the boat. So that sunlight's going to hit the lower part of the boat because you have where they walk around the gang ramp up top, just casting the shadows back into there. Well, the gangways, not gang ramp. Tell you what, time sure does fly when you're having fun. I hope y'all are enjoying this as much as I am. That's what it's all about. It's creating, putting it on there, taking it off, moving it around. Y'all come.